read question number 25. The Arctic-Alpine Botanic Garden in Norway and the Jardim Botanico of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil are two of many botanical gardens around the world dedicated to growing diverse plant blank, fostering scientific research, and educating the public about plant conservation. Which choice completes the text so that it conforms to the conventions of standard English? Is it A, species, comma, both native and non-native, comma, B, species, comma, both native and non-native, semicolon, C, species, semicolon, both native and non-native, comma, or D, species, both native and non-native, comma? So which do you think is having the correct conventions? Choice B is the best answer. So what is the convention? The convention being tested is the punctuation of items in a complex series. Complex series, which is nothing but, what is a complex series? A complex series is a series including internal punctuation. There will be comma inside the comma kind of a situation. Okay. So instead of using a comma inside a comma, we are going to use semicolon and then comma and semicolon to separate them. So the semicolon after non-native. So if we use a semicolon after non-native, it is correctly used to separate the first item. So what is the first item? The first item in this case is growing diverse plant species. Okay. This is the first item, and we have to put a comma after that item, and then both native and non-native, as you can see, are both native. After that we are putting the semicolon. So and what is the next item after that? The next item after that is fostering scientific research, and then again you see the semicolon. So this is a series of things that botanical gardens are dedicated to. So what are they dedicated to? Growing diverse plant species, fostering scientific research, and educating the public about plant conservation. So these are the three main things. But under growing diverse plant species, both native and non-native has been added. So that's why it had to be separated. Okay, so the comma after species is correctly used to separate the noun phrase diverse plant species, and the supplementary phrase, this both native and non-native, is nothing but the supplementary phrase. I'll use a different color for that. So this one is supplementary phrase. So a diverse plant species and the supplementary phrase, both native and non-native, that modifies it. Now choice A is therefore incorrect because the comma, specifically the comma after non-native, can be used in this way to separate items in a complex series. So we cannot use comma to separate like this, both commas, whereas this both native and non-native, it is a part of the previous thing itself, growing diverse plants species. Okay, and choice C is also therefore incorrect because the semicolon can't be used in this way. Here itself they have used a semicolon to separate the noun phrase diverse plant species and the supplementary phrase both native and non-native, that modifies it. So they have used in the other way around. So first the comma had to be there, then the semicolon, not like this. Okay. Further, the comma can be used in this way to separate items in a complex series. And then choice D is incorrect because it fails to use appropriate punctuation to the noun phrase diverse plant species and the supplementary phrase both native and non-native. There is nothing to separate even these two, species and the other part, both native and non-native. So a comma can't be used in this way to separate items in a complex series. Sorry.